pick the right network marketing company for you? That's an interesting subject. This is Todd Falcone. Welcome to my office, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you watch my videos, this particular video is going to be a little bit longer than the ones I typically do on YouTube. I don't know how long it's going to be, but I'm just telling you right now, it's going to be not 3 to 5 minutes. So, wow, what an interesting subject, and certainly one worthy of having a conversation about. You know, when you first get started in a network marketing company, for the most part, what happens is you don't really have a choice, because, not that you don't have a choice, but you really typically won't choose because somebody introduces you to something. Now again, I'm going back, there's two things that happens. The first time you get started in a network marketing business, somebody comes to you, brings something to you, whatever, and you either act or don't act. If you do act, then you act in that particular opportunity. Now, down the road, what happens is, let's say it's a second time around or third time around or whatever, and you're searching for a network marketing company. You are literally looking for different opportunities. You're looking at different opportunities and trying to figure out for you what makes the most sense. So first time around, you're typically not hunting around in most cases, unless you got into network marketing by searching around and looking for an opportunity. A lot of times people get involved in network marketing the very first time. Somebody brings something to them. It's not that they were necessarily looking for something. So all right, so I've been through both. I started in network marketing 20 plus years ago, was introduced to it, didn't know what it was, signed up in that opportunity, and then later, a couple years later, I had to make a move for my own reasons, and I started to search out different opportunities. I started to look for something. And then that brings into play a whole other different set of emotions and decisions, and you've got different products and different systems and different corporate leadership and different timing, and it's like crazy. And I can understand how frustrating it can be. I've gone through the frustration myself of the emotional turmoil that goes on when you're trying to find the right thing for you, and this one looks good, and this one looks good too, and this one looks good, and it's like, I can't even make a decision, right? So now, I'm not going to tell you in this video what you should do for you, but look, it is about you. It's about your own personal decisions. I think there are some people that have put stuff out there like, these are the things that you should look at if you're going to choose the right network marketing opportunity. Obviously, you got different elements. You got product, you have compensation plan, you have corporate ownership, you have field leadership, you have the tools and systems that they might be using, you have the timing. Is it old? Is it new? Is it a binary? Is it a unilevel? Is it a matrix? Is it this? Is it that? Is it a product? Is it a service? How old? How young? How many millions of dollars in volume? And for man, for anyone, it's harder the more you know. Like, it's almost easier with the less you know, the better, So for me, I'm just going to talk to you guys like, hey, if I'm going out there for me, and I'm trying to find the right opportunity for me. Now, you can look at this video and just reverse it and do it for you, and you have to make your own decision. So I'm not telling you these are the things you have to do, but first of all, let's look at the product. Every company has something that they're selling to end users. So that's a product or a service. And for me personally, I really want to do something that I can get behind. Like, for me, it's never just about the money. Of course, if I want to do a network marketing business, of course, I want to get myself into a situation where the earning potential is there. But it's never just about the money. It might be just about the money for you, and I'm not going to judge you for that. I mean, if that's the deal for you, then that's cool. Some people are looking like, hey, how can I make as much money as I can, as fast as I can? I don't care if it lasts forever. I just want to make a bunch of money, and if that's what you're looking for, then you'll find an opportunity that's suitable for those needs. So for me, I look for a product that I can get behind, that I can see myself doing. Not that it's just like, I'm only doing this because it's a cool trend or something hot right now, and everybody's going to jump behind it. So that has a lot to do with my personal decision making. Product, service, certainly something that I would look at for me is there an existing need in the marketplace for what it is that we're selling, or do we have to create a need? Because if there's already an existing need, in other words, people are buying or using something similar to that in the marketplace on a large scale, then obviously that's likely going to be easier in terms of your ability to go market that good or service into the marketplace. So if there's an existing demand for that particular type of product, that's something I'd be looking at. You know, and then the other part is, like, some people just have a great product experience, and that's the key driver that causes them to do the business. Now, and there's nothing wrong with that either. You might have a life-changing, life-altering experience that causes you to decide to do the business and just start sharing the product, and that ends up being a huge business for you because you had such an emotional, major, significant life change from the product that you were on. So that's, I mean, that in and of itself might be enough. I'd also, however, if I was being a smart business person, I would be looking at other factors like, hey, who are these people that are running this company? What's their history, right? What have they done in the past? Because I could have this great product experience, and maybe the people that are running the company, they've run 5 companies out of business in the last 2 years. Probably not exactly. It's nice that I got the great product result, but yeah, not so good over there. So you got product, you've got ownership. So for me, like corporate ownership, I'm like looking at their history and like, okay, who are these people? What have they done in the past? Have they done anything in the past? Have they done anything in network marketing in the past? What was the end result of that? History tends to repeat itself. And I'm not going to name any companies, but I know situations where owners have come in. I know a guy who, the first time around, purposely bankrupted his company, left the profession for a little while, came back and purposely bankrupted his company the second time around. I wouldn't have touched it the second time around because I said, oh, this is what he did the first time around. So, you know, Google's pretty cool because you can, you know, Google's cool and not so cool. I will tell you that. Here's the thing about Google. When you start searching for stuff on Google, you're going to start coming up with stuff, and anybody can get a site ranked. It's not that hard. Not hard for anybody, like any person, to put something on a website and make it show up. And I see this happen a lot of time where like you start doing a search and it'll say like such and such review or such and such is a scam. Well, at least in those two instances, what I've seen typically is it's just somebody using that to sell something else to them, and it's really not even a legitimate review, or you know, it's like, hey, I'm using this name because I know it's searchable and I'm going to get that traffic instead. And unfortunately, you got to look out for that stuff. But you can do Google searches on the owners and things like that and dig around. I mean, if you're gonna invest time and effort and energy, my opinion is a good idea to not pull the trigger really quickly, but to make sure, and I'm not saying wait a really long time before you go do something. I'm talking about in relative terms, like do your due diligence quickly. Let's find out what's good and what might not be so good. And by the way, there is no perfect company. There is never going to be a perfect network marketing opportunity. I don't care how hard you look. I don't care. You can search to the ends of the earth. You'll never find it. There's no perfection anywhere. So you have to be okay with the flaws. How big are the flaws? I don't know. If they're monstrous flaws, we have a challenge. So, you know, you have, again, going back, we got product, right? Is there a demand? Is it something I like? Can I get behind it? Does it pull on my heartstrings? Am I doing just this for the money, or is this because there's something, you know, really cool here and I can really see myself doing this? Ownership. Who are these people that are running it? How long have they been running it? Like, have they run other companies? What's their background? Have they run network marketing companies before? Just because somebody's run other companies, now they're running a network marketing company, doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be a really good network marketing company owner. But that doesn't mean they're not going to be either. So, good idea, because in the end, here's the thing. Here's the thing that you don't control. None of us control it. The one thing that we don't control in network marketing is corporate decision making. You're not the owner. The person that signs the checks, the owner, can ultimately make or break the opportunity. And I've seen that happen. That's the only lack of control thing that you really have. Is like, I can't control what those guys at the top do that own the company. And that's kind of like, that's the one thing that we as independent distributors in the field have to deal with, because we've chosen to not have all the headaches of running a company and insurance and overhead and people and payroll and all the things, right? We can just come in and sign a distributor application, give them some money and start recruiting and building and selling and work, and we can work when we want and play when we want and all that. That's great, but you don't have control over those decisions, and we can't always predict the future, but you can do some due diligence. And I also think as well, you kind of get like a feeling, like a gut, like heart and gut intuition. It's like, how do I feel about that? And I would definitely trust your intuition, your gut feeling. If you're going, that doesn't feel so good, it kind of feels a little creepy, then it very may well be creepy and might be something that you don't want to do, right? So, and then you might also get this feeling like, oh, wow, these people are really awesome, they're cool. I mean, there's something I just felt good, and I'd probably go with that feeling as well. So you got product, you got company ownership, now you have field leadership. Now, field leadership, that's like the people in the field that are driving the opportunity. Those are the people that every day are out there, beating the streets, if you will, and building the business. And there's something said about having a very strong, unified field leadership group. And that would certainly make an impact for me. As like, I mean, for me, leadership is almost the most important thing. It's like, who is leading the crew here? Leadership is so big, and if there's unity, if everyone's moving in the same direction, if the person who's leading the field is a really solid, strong, ethical leader that's moving in the right direction and is very, very focused and very vision oriented, that's critical. Rather than, we got this person over here and this guy over here and this one doing it this way and this person doing it this way, and it's kind of scattered. I don't know. I don't typically see companies that are like that do incredibly well. So I would definitely look at field leadership. Compensation plan. What do you got? You got unilevel, binary, matrix, breakaway, 2-up, hybrid, whatever. I mean, most compensation plans pay out approximately the same amount. They just pay it out differently. I don't know, between 25 and 50% payout. Yeah, it's pretty big variance. So you got to look at that. For example, you have a company that says they pay out 50%. Well, what's their real payout? I mean, this becomes a little challenging, because then you kind of have to really look at it and go, can I extrapolate the information here and figure out really, like, do I even understand the compensation plan? I can tell you that I would guess that most people, and I do mean most people who look at a compensation plan can't really look at it and clearly understand it to be able to say, this is I get it 100%. And really be able to prove it. Like, well, put that to me on paper. Show me how you understand that, right? So, is it a fair compensation plan? I mean, some people love binary, some people love unilevels, some people won't touch binary, some people won't touch unilevels, whatever. Most pay out approximately the same amount, somewhere between 25 and 50%. I don't really see any network marketing companies that typically pay more than 50%. And you know what? I don't know if I really want that, because I want the company to be in business. They take in $100 and $50 goes back to the field. Where's the other $50 go? Well, the other $50 goes to the company. Why do they need the money? Well, to stay in business, to pay the payroll and their computer people and their customer service people and and to pay their rent and to make sure everything's running okay and all of that, right? I want my network marketing company to be in business. I want them to be profitable. I want them to be making money. Not like, hey, give us all the money and then you're out of business the next month. That's not so cool. So, for me, I don't know. Compensation plan isn't, I wouldn't say it's at the top of the list, but it's something I look at for sure. Systems or tools in place. What's the methodology? How are people doing the stuff that they're doing? What's the primary way that this company drives business? And is it all in-homes and PBRs, private business receptions, in-homes? Is it webinars and conference calls? Is it CD, DVD? Is it, and I just want to know what it is. And do I see myself doing like these whatever parties, this whatever you call them, like, hey, do we do this thing? And like, do I see myself doing that every day? And people look have their opinions. Everybody's got their opinion. Oh, I think it's silly that they do in-homes. Okay, some of the most successful companies that I know do in-homes. It's a great way to connect. It's a way to get with other people and really get to know one another. Everybody's got their opinion, right? Timing. Oh boy, timing. Like, is it too late? Is it too late? Is it too early? Are we in momentum? What is momentum? As far as the timing thing goes, when is it too late? When's it too early? For me, I really don't like to do startups, but I've also been in this business for a very long period of time. Maybe that'll tell you something, I don't know. That's just my preference. I don't do something typically, not to say I never would, I don't prefer to do a company that just started yesterday. There's a high risk and a high reward factor. That's cool. If that's your thing, that's awesome. If you love that and that's what you want to do, I don't fault you for that, because there could be a huge gain or not. But that's the risk that that you're taking by getting into a company that's brand new. I personally like to get into a company that's been around for a little bit and has something going on and that's kind of gone through their stuff already before I engage. That's my own personal preference, okay? And this video isn't so you take my personal preferences and apply them in your life. You got to do what you got to do. But these are the things that we look at. We look at product, we look at comp plan, we look at corporate leadership, we look at field leadership, we look at the tools and systems, the methodology in terms of how they do stuff. We look at the timing. I'm going to give you an example. About 10 years ago, actually about 14 years ago, I joined a company, and I started making my initial phone calls, starting to build my team, and I called this guy up, and he's like, and the company was, I think the company at the time was about 2.5, almost 3 years old, and they were in a good upward phase of growth. We were doing about, let's see, probably 10 to 15 million a month. So, 10 million is like a $100 million a year company at the time. And he's like, and this is like literally 2 years into, he's like, yeah, no, I think it's too late, dude. It's too late. It's over already. And I thought to myself, and I even said this to this guy, I thought you were an experienced network marketer. He's like, what are you talking about? I am. I said, dude, so let me ask you this. So if it's too late at year 2, and does that mean then that you have to go into a brand new company and it has to be like you have to get in early? I mean, like right when they start, you do a little 2-year run, and then when it's too late at year 2, you gather all your troops and you gather all your people and you say, look guys, look, it's over. We're at year 2, got to go do another deal, it's done. Is that what you're saying to me? I mean, so you're going to go build something for 2 years and then you're done, right? See, that's kind of an issue, right? I mean, and the guy was just one of those guys that could never pull the trigger. Out of all those things, for me, again, this is for me, not for you, I look at, hey, is this a good product? Is there demand for it in the marketplace? How's the corporate leadership? What's their history been? And really, what's going on in the field? What kind of field leadership is there? And what kind of feeling is that field leadership creating as they're driving growth in the marketplace? The comp plan, okay, cool. But those are the things that I look at. You've got your job cut out for you. Obviously, if you're in a position right now where you're looking for another opportunity, I don't know if that's the case or not, but just some food for thought, some things to think about. I told you this video would be significantly longer than what I typically do on my blog, but I thought it was worthy of having a conversation with you guys about it. Have a super day, and we'll see you in another video. Have a good one.